hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is Jay Lee's Corner. I am, of course, Jay Lee, and this is my review for last night's episode of Snowfall on FX. Um, okay, first things first, if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. It does not cost you anything, it just lets you know when I have new videos up, new content on my channel for this show or any of the other shows that I review. You can like my videos, please and thank you. You can also share my videos, and there is also a comment section at the bottom where you can put in any comments about the episode or what I'm speaking about. The one rule about the comment section is please be respectful. Thank you. I don't have many crazy comments, but every once in a while people get out of pocket, and I'm trying to be nice and not have to go off in my comments, and I also don't want other people going back and forth in the comments, trying to, tell people what they shouldn't say and things like that. So come on, let's be adults here, okay? Thank you. So please subscribe, because as I say in every video, I do love new subscribers. So Snowfall, which I say each time, is one of my new favorite shows, even though I'm really only interested in the Franklin story. The other two stories kind of don't. They just need to get that together. I don't know. So I'm going to tell this basically in 3 parts. The 2 parts that I'm not, I'm like whatever about, and then on to the Franklin situation. So we do see the Three Amigos, as I'm going to call them right now. And they're together. They are, because you first see, I'm like, something's in the trunk. This is something like a trunk. Either someone's in the trunk, someone's outside of the trunk. There's some trunk stuff going on. So we see the trunk open. The 3 blind mice are looking at the trunk, and they're trying to figure out something. We come to figure out they're trying to get keys out of this man's pocket. And Gustavo, who's the wrestler, goes in and he's, reaching for the keys and whatever. And then when they pan out, we see he was getting keys out of a dead man's pocket. So, the last episode, their scene at least ended with them saying they were going to go in and they were trying to kill someone. Okay. We did not see the actual murder. And to me, that's weird, because y'all showed old boy bent over on the bed after getting raped. Y'all couldn't show this man get murdered. I would rather see somebody get murdered versus seeing the aftermath of ass rape. That's just my personal opinion, but everyone is different. So yeah, we just see the dead body in the trunk and them 3 together, and they all do look, distraught, I'll say, because you can't be out here just murdering people and then being normal after you murder them, because that makes you crazy. So we see them all just kind of reacting from the fact that there's a dead body in the trunk. We then see them, and they're in a house or in a warehouse or something, and the male cousin, who I still don't know what his name is, they don't say names enough with their story either, but he's sitting on the ground. His cousin, the female, you can see that she just took a shower and she's wiping her hair. You can see she's wet, probably getting all the blood and stuff off, because we do see blood on the male cousin, because of course they murdered someone. And they're just looking at each other, and I'm like, why do they just keep staring? Why y'all not saying anything? This is weird. Again, I'm not too keen on their storyline just yet. The female cousin, she's then in her hair, and she's trying to pull something out her hair, and she pulls out I don't know if it was brain fragments. It was a bloody something. It looked to me it looked like brain fragments. So yeah, and that was in her hair, which we know, okay, whatever happened, it must have been bloody and gory. Okay, cool. And it's weird, because I'm like, I don't know what they doing. It kind of just doesn't flow right to me. Their story isn't interesting enough for me. And I don't know why it's not. It's the weirdest thing. So it goes from that to they're all sitting around, and the female cousin is suturing the wounds that Gustavo has. Gustavo's the wrestler guy. And you can tell that he was cut up in some sort of way. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm thinking she put cocaine on that man back as the medicine to soothe his soreness. Because was moaning like he was having sex for one. I'm like, is he horny? I mean, is somebody doing something to him and we don't see it? But it was when she sprinkled that stuff on him. I'm like, maybe she sprinkled like some cocaine and it was in his system real tough and he just kind of, and he just started feeling it. So, yeah. We also see the male cousin telling Gustavo that he needs to watch the female cousin. And he's insinuating that she can't handle the fact that they've murdered someone. And he's like, she screams when it's a spider. How's she gonna handle, if she can't handle a dead spider, how's she gonna handle a dead body? And then of course she walk in and she's talking and things like that. And again, it's just weird, so it's just a weird scene and I don't understand it because it's just strange. So as they're sitting there, we see that the male cousin's phone goes off, or his beeper or whatever, and it's his dad, like, you have to come here. And they're like, whenever your dad texts you, you have to come, because his dad is crazy. So he's trying to get the keys from Gustavo to use Gustavo's truck because he can't use his car. Why can't he use his car? Because it's a dead body in the trunk. So the female cousin takes him out to have a conversation, and then we find out what happened. The way the murder happened was because she's talking to him and she was like, we need to talk about this. And he's like, what are you talking about? And she was like, I saw you standing there, when Gustavo was knocked out. And as I laid there being choked to death with his hands around my throat, you stood there with a knife in your hand and you froze. You almost let me die. If Gustavo hadn't waken up and basically crushed the man's skull to kill him with his bare hands, I would have been dead. So that's why it was brain fragments in her hair, because Gustavo beat the man to death and crushed his brain, so she had brain fragments. And the reason her cousin was having this non-verbal staring contest is because he almost let her die because he froze. So whereas we thought he was almost the mastermind, he was the stronger one, it's really her. And she's like, go to your father, change clothes, look him in the eye, be normal, because if you fuck this up, I'm gonna kill you. Okay, female cousin. Okay, crime mobster. Okay. And so yeah, we have that. Then like later on, Gustavo and the girl are having a conversation. She had like a flashback of her as a child. She couldn't have been no older than 5, if that. And someone's telling her, to stay under the bed and to not come out. You see someone walk in and you hear a gunshot go off and she sees someone murdered. It don't show if the person who walked in was killed or if the person who walked in killed the person who told her to stay under the bed. Okay, fine. Her and Gustavo are talking. They hug because of course they're just kind of, emotional. And they both say to each other, everything's going to be okay. Her cousin then comes back and says, okay, yeah, they went to the guy's house that we killed. My dad assumes he stole the money and he ran off. So their plan worked. Okay, that's enough of Three Blind Mice. Even Teddy's story is getting to be, I can't keep up with the bullshit of it. I mean, now we see Teddy is not in the jungle. Teddy is goddamn Carmen Sandiego, and he done found Alejandro in the damn foreign jungle. I'm like, what? How did you find this man in the jungle, Carmen Sandiego, Teddy? I'm just like, was he Inspector Gadget? He was a Where's Waldo type of person. He found Waldo. And, he is walking through the jungle and he sees a kid up in a tree. And the kid is like, intruder, intruder. And he's like, no, 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 no. So that whole thing plays out. Nothing bad happens, but he finds Alejandro. And he's like, hey, I'm here. I got here. Don't worry about it. But we need to scratch these serial numbers off them guns. Get the people to help us. Okay, there was that whole part. He ends up talking to Alejandro's wife, who they're sitting there and they're rubbing the serial numbers off the guns, and come to find out, she's like, he wasn't that bad. Things just happened and we all kind of changed. Okay. I mean, the whole thing with Teddy and them, it was just like a waste of story to me a little bit. We do see that the little boy who first was saying intruder is actually a mole, and he had a whole tracking device where the people could find them, but he didn't put the battery in the right way, which was the only reason they didn't find them. And Teddy found that out because he was just talking to the boy, asked him questions. And as Teddy says, I can tell when someone's lying, which to me means he also knew that Alejandro was lying when he said he didn't kill them girls. He know it. Alejandro also looks back like, okay, he must have known I was lying too. And that was kind of all of it. They do end up killing the little boy. Teddy didn't want the little boy to die, but Alejandro's wife was like, yes, he is just a kid, but he's a kid who just tried to kill all of us, and they have to murder him. Okay, fine, whatever. On to the main event. Our homie Franklin. So we see Franklin, and he's trying to teach himself how to shoot. He got the gun he got from his uncle Jerome. He's like under the viaduct, under some bridges. He's trying to shoot some toys. That to me was funny. It kind of showed how young kids, because you're shooting toys, little itty bitty toys, and he's trying to shoot, and he misses the first shot, makes the second one. He's trying to teach himself to shoot so he can, of course, go kill Carvel and rape himself. Leon walks up and he's laughing because he sees him trying to teach himself to shoot, but shooting at toys. And Leon says, you need to shoot something that's alive, because how you gonna kill Carvel if you can't practice shoot on something that's alive? So they're kind of jonesing back and forth a little bit, and Leon wants to try to shoot as well. So for some reason, Leon is trying to take the gun, and he's like, well, yeah, I want to learn to shoot too, And he was jokingly doing a beat like, yeah, I don't want the booty bandit to get me, because Carvel is definitely a damn booty bandit, because he raped that boy, and that was horrible. But as they're tussling for the gun, whereas Leon is joking and Franklin is not playing at all, Franklin ends up getting hit in the face, and he's like, man, this is a loaded fucking gun. And they kind of get back on a serious note. We see Leon and Franklin they get to Carvel's house because they know where he stay. And when they get there, they see Carvel and them bought a brand new car, like a caddy, that was special back in them days. And what you also see is people like drunk, sleep on the porch and stuff, because he been partying because he got all of Franklin's money. So when they walk up to the door, Leon says, wait, are you ready to kill Carvel? Because if you don't kill him, he gonna come find us. He gonna ass rape us like some bitches. Because Carvel rape people. I mean, he does. And that's a valid point. If you're not gonna kill this man, I ain't going in here so he can come find me later and ass rape me. And, Franklin like, man, just come on and stand behind me. So, they do go in and they do see him. For me, it was kind of anticlimactic that he was just sitting there. You know what I'm saying? And I guess he was high because he was sitting in a chair. And when he stands up, he like, man, what the fuck? And he kind of, staggers and stands up. Then he falls down to the ground because he's probably still so high. Me, myself, I would have shot him in the head right then and right there. Why not kill him when he's already incapacitated, so you don't have to fight the ass bandit? To me, that's just the smartest thing to do. But that's not what they do. So what they do, they take his car with him in the trunk to Javi. And Javi's like, why would you bring this to my doorstep? Why would you bring this to my house? Why would you bring your enemy to me? And Leon's like, we thought we can do a trade. And Javi's like, why is he talking to me again? Because, Javi doesn't trust new people. He knows Franklin. He does not know Leon. Yeah, Leon. So they're talking and they're kind of walking through the house because Javi is upset because he's like, I don't know what you came to me for. What do you want me to do? I can't handle your battles for you. And, when Franklin tells him, well, maybe we can have a whole thing where we, put the bulletproof vest and shoot at him. And Javi's like, no, we can't have that. And then come to find out, Javi got company. Javi got him a little cute little black tenderoni at the crib, and they playing tennis. And he's like, oh, hey, babe, give me a second. These are my kids. I adopted. I'm helping to raise them and help them be better men. First of all, white man, you're not Mr. Drummond, and I'm not the Different Strokes kids. But they just said hi to the girl and left it at that. And he's like, I'm trying something new. He's trying some of that dark chocolates. So he do let them know, hey, I can't do nothing for you. You need to handle it. Take it away from here and do what you got to do. He then goes and he gets a shovel. Gives him the shovel, and then he says, my burial place, I like, is the, what do you say? My burial place is the, the Mojave Desert. Suggesting you got to go kill him in the desert. That's what drug people do. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. So that's what he also suggested to Franklin and to Leon. So we do see them driving up the coast in the car, and we know Carvel is in the trunk. And Leon says, hey, we're already on this dirt road. Why don't we just roll his body down the hill and let the coyotes get to him? And Franklin like, man, that's a dumbass idea. That's gonna leave evidence. We can't do that. He like, well, I'm just trying to say, how far out in the desert do we have to go to bury him? Whatever. So this whole time, I'm thinking they already done killed this man, and he already dead, and they just trying to get rid of the body. No. They so green, he ain't even dead. He was still passed out when he passed out the first time. So then as they're driving, he's waking up, and you hear him kicking and screaming, saying, let me out the trunk. And of course, they're panicking because he's waking up. I'm like, y'all should have shot him in the head when he was out. You should have shot him in the head, slit his throat, whatever you needed to do, because you were going to kill him anyway. Again, it's easier to kill him if he was already incapacitated. So, and he sounds very, very, very angry. And they just driving fast to get to where they can get, to a secluded place. We see they come to a stop sign, or a construction site stop. And there's, a construction worker holding a little slow sign. So they had to cut the music up because Carvel is loud, screaming, let me out! Get me out of this trunk! And he's kind of hitting and screaming and stuff like that. So they cut the music up, but it's funny because Leon starts singing the song to cover up the fact that Carvel is screaming in this trunk. But it was lucky enough, they were lucky enough that it was loud enough that the people didn't hear him. And then they pull off. So as they're driving, he stops screaming. And they're like, oh, did he pass out? What happened? No, he didn't. What he do is he trying to break through the seat. He got a crowbar. He's sticking the crowbar through the fabric of the seat, trying to come through the trunk, through the back seat. And they're like, oh shit, oh shit. Leon tell Franklin to give him the gun, but he can't fucking shoot because he's shooting at the damn seat. How you gonna shoot at the seat and you don't even know where he at in the trunk? You should have waited for him to come out of the trunk through the back seat, shoot him in the head. That's what you should have did. That ain't what he did. So he of course shot in the car. It kind of got quiet, and so Carvel crawled his ass, raped himself out the dang on back seat of the trunk, and he's like, what the fuck up? So of course they tussling in the car. The car comes to a stop, and Leon and Franklin gets out, and they're trying to wait for Carvel to get out so they can shoot him at an even angle. But Carvel comes so quick, and they so damn nervous when they shoot. Carvel's running, they shoot, and they do hit him, and then he falls down the damn cliff. Tumble, 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 tumble. And they like, I ain't going, no, Leon like, I ain't going down there. So, we see the next scene is them walking through this little desert part looking for him. And they see blood splatter, but they don't see him. And they're like, he couldn't get fired. This is fucking crazy. And they're just following the blood trail until Leon says, hey, look, he over there. And they find him. So Ash Raping Carvel is crouched up against like some little well thing or something he's crouched up against. And he's tired. He's shot. It looks like he was shot in the leg. Of course, he's in like his underwear and socks. So it's not like he was running through the desert, in some gym shoes where he was able to get some traction and everything. Plus, he probably was still a little bit high. So Franklin gets the gun. He points it at Carvel. And as he does that, Carvel is saying like, please, please. You can't ass rape somebody. Like, you ass raped somebody in front of them people and then stole that man money. Now all of a sudden you want to say please. You want to say now you was ass raping that boy. I'm like, how you gonna say? Now you want to beg for your life. Man, what? You ass raped somebody and took somebody else's money, used that money to go buy a car, a Cadillac at that, and put some nice rims on it. And then Leon said them rims was at least $800. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, I'm all off topic. But yeah, he's, please don't, please, and shaking his head no. And Franklin puts the gun down. And I'm like, Franklin, the fuck you putting the gun down for, bruh? You can't let that man live. He ass raped people and he don't care. He ass raped somebody and he walked away. Okay? That's what he did. So, I'm like, Franklin's so dumb. Why he so green? He passed the gun to Leon. Well, Leon pulled the goddamn trigger. Yep, Leon killed Carvel. Shot him twice, so he's dead. Dead to the world, dead to the bed, dead to the ass. Everything. And when Leon shot him, Franklin didn't face him. He didn't see it happen. He just heard it go off. Because, of course, Franklin ain't about that life, as we see. Because he couldn't kill Carvel. At the end of the day, he still couldn't do it. So that part was kind of crazy. We then see them taking the car to like I don't know if it was a junkyard or someone who buys cars. To me, it's like a chop shop. But they took the car there trying to get the money because again, Franklin still owed Javi, I think it's like $34,000. He's a like 34,000 or something like that. Maybe I don't know how much he owed him because it was 12,000 a key. Maybe he owed him $24,000. I can't remember how many keys he got last time. He owed him some goddamn money. The car, the dude at the shop, like, I'll give you $23,000 for the caddy. Because y'all got, he like, but y'all had an animal in the trunk? And they like, yeah. Because there's blood in the trunk because they had Carvel in the trunk. And they said, well, yeah, we had an animal in the trunk. But he still said, how did y'all fuck the car up a little bit, just in one day? So even though you just bought it yesterday, you drove it off the lot and it's already a little bit messed up, so I can only give you $23,000 for it. And then, Leon and Franklin are talking and he's like, well, I think I can, add something else to it. He sells the motorcycle bike that he bought when he first started selling the drugs, which couldn't be more than 3 days ago. And the dude offered him, an additional $800. So that's $23,800 that he got cash. Him and Leon walk out and he like, man, thank you for that. He never said thank you for killing Carvel, but we know that's what he meant. Of course they dab up, whatever. When Franklin's walking away, and Leon's like, hey man, where you going? What you doing? He like, hit me up tomorrow, and he's just walking away. So Franklin walks one way, Leon walks the other way. We then see him going to Javi, and he gives Javi the bag that has the money in it and everything. And Javi's like, okay, cool. Javi then tells his henchman, give him another 3 keys. And Franklin's like, nah, I'm straight. I'm out. And Javi looks at him, he laughs, and he said, you lasted longer than I thought you would. And just like that, Franklin's out. For me, I was surprised that he did that because I'm like, well, dang, how else is the story going to progress if he's no longer doing that? But, this is only episode 4. I don't know how many episodes the season has, but I'm hoping the season doesn't go downhill because this isn't a part of the story. The next, preview for... Why did I spit like that? Jesus. The preview for next week's episode does look interesting. Where it's looking like it's going to be the aftermath of people knowing that he, 1, was selling major drugs, 2, that he had all that money that he got into. It's going to be, I guess, the outcome of all of that. So that was the review for Snowfall. It was a good episode in my eyes. I still liked it. I still think I prefer Franklin's story over the other 2. I'm hoping they make the other 2 a little bit more interesting. You know what I'm saying? I like the show overall, though, so it's not like it's a bad thing. So again, this is Jay Lee's Corner. I am, of course, Jay Lee. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscribe button to know about my next coming videos. But until next time, people, peace.